Chapter 33. We go into the salsa business. You're forgetting something, Horace told me. A little busy here, I thought back. You might think it's easy steering a magic boat through the sky. You'd be wrong. I didn't have Amos's animated coat, so I stood in the back trying to shift the tiller myself, which was like stirring cement. I couldn't see where we were going. We kept tilting back and forth while Sadie tried her best to keep an unconscious Zia from flopping over the side. "It's my birthday," Horace insisted. "Wish me happy birthday." "Happy birthday," I yelled. "Now shut up." "Carter, what are you on about?" Sadie screamed, grabbing the railing with one hand and Zia with the other as the boat tipped sideways. "Have you lost your mind?" "No, I was talking to..." "Oh, forget it." I glanced behind us. Something was approaching, a blazing figure that lit up the night. Vaguely humanoid, definitely bad news. I urged the boat to go faster. "Did you get me anything?" Horace urged. "Will you please do something helpful?" I demanded. "That thing following us, is that what I think it is?" "Oh," Horace sounded bored. "That's Sekhmet, the Eye of Ra, destroyer of the wicked, the great huntress, lady of flame, etc." Great, I thought, and she's following us because the chief lector has the power to summon her once during his lifetime, Horace explained. It's an old gift. Goes back to the days when Ra first blessed man with magic. Once during his lifetime, I thought? And Desjardins chooses now? He never was very good at being patient. I thought that the magicians don't like gods. They don't, Horace agreed. Just shows you what a hypocrite he is. But I suppose killing you was more important than standing on principle. I can appreciate that. I looked back again. The figure was definitely getting closer. A giant golden woman in glowing red armor, and a bow in one hand, and a quiver of arrows slung across her back, and she was hurtling toward us like a rocket. "How do we beat her?" I asked. "You pretty much don't," Horace said. "She is the incarnation of the sun's wrath. Back in the days when Ra was active, she would have been much more impressive, but still, she's unstoppable. A born killer. A slaying machine." "Okay, I get it," I yelled. "What?" Sadie demanded, so loud that Zia stirred. What? Her eyes fluttered open. "Nothing," I shouted. "We're being followed by a slaying machine. Go back to sleep." Zia sat up woozily. "A slaying machine? You don't mean..." "Carter, veer right!" Sadie yelled. I did, and a flaming arrow the size of a predator drone grazed our port side. It exploded above us, setting the roof of our boathouse on fire. I steered the boat into a dive, and Sekhmet shot past, but then pirouetted in the air with irritating agility and dove after us. "We're burning," Sadie pointed out helpfully. "Noticed," I yelled back. I scanned the landscape below us, but there was nowhere safe to land, just subdivisions and office parks. "Die, enemies of Ra," Sekhmet yelled. "Perish in agony." "She's almost as annoying as you," I told Horace. "Impossible," Horace said. "No one bests Horace." I took another evasive turn, and Zia yelled, "There!" She pointed toward a well-lit factory complex with trucks, warehouses, and silos. A giant chili pepper was painted on the side of the biggest warehouse, and a floodlit sign read, "Magic Salsa Incorporated." "Oh, please," Sadie said. "It's not really magic. That's just a name." "No," Zia insisted. "I've got an idea." "Those 7 ribbons," I guessed, "the ones you used on Serket?" Zia shook her head. "They can only be summoned once a year. But my plan..." Another arrow blazed past us, only inches from our starboard side. "Hang on!" I yanked at the tiller and spun the boat upside down just before the arrow exploded. The hull shielded us from the brunt of the blast, but the entire bottom of the ship was now on fire, and we were going down. With my last bit of control, I aimed the boat toward the roof of the warehouse, and we crashed through, slamming into a huge mound of something crunchy. I clawed my way clear of the boat and sat up in a daze. Fortunately, the stuff we crashed into was soft. Unfortunately, it was a 20-foot pile of dried chili peppers, and the boat had set them on fire. My eyes began to sting, but I knew better than to rub them because my hands were now covered in chili oil. "Sadie," I called. "Zia!" "Help!" Sadie yelled. She was on the other side of the boat, dragging Zia out from under the flaming hull. We managed to pull her free and slide down the pile onto the floor. The warehouse seemed to be a massive facility for drying peppers, with 30 or 40 mountains of chilies and rows of wooden drying racks. The wreckage of our boat filled the air with spicy smoke, and through the hole we'd made in the roof, I could see the blazing figure of Sekhmet descending. We ran, plowing through another pile of peppers. "No, I didn't pick a peck of them, Sadie. Just shut up." We hid behind a drying rack, where shelves of peppers made the air burn like hydraulic acid. Sekhmet landed, and the warehouse floor shuddered. Up close, she was even more terrifying. Her skin glowed like liquid gold, and her chest armor and skirts seemed to be woven of tiles made from molten lava. Her hair was like a thick lion's mane. Her eyes were feline, but they didn't sparkle like bast or betray any kindness or humor. Sekhmet's eyes blazed like her arrows, designed only to seek and destroy. She was beautiful the way an atomic explosion is beautiful. "I smell blood," she roared. "I will feast on enemies of Ra until my belly is full." "Charming," Sadie whispered. "So, Zia, this plan?" Zia didn't look so well. She was shivering and pale and seemed to have trouble focusing on us. When he first called Sekhmet to punish humans because they were rebelling against him, she got out of hand." "Hard to imagine," I whispered, as Sekhmet ripped through the burning wreckage of our boat. "She started killing everyone," Zia said, "not just the wicked. None of the other gods could stop her. She would just kill all day until she gorged on blood. Then she'd leave until the next day. So the people begged the magicians to come up with a plan, and—" "You dare hide?" Flames roared as Sekhmet's arrows destroyed pile after pile of dried peppers. "I will roast you alive." "Run now," I decided. "Talk later." Sadie and I dragged Zia between us. We managed to get out of the warehouse just before the whole place imploded from the heat, billowing a spicy, hot mushroom cloud into the sky. We ran through a parking lot filled with semi-trailers and hid between a 16-wheeler.